Why your Facebook ads aren't working and how to fix it. So in this video, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to do this. Firstly, if this is first time meeting, my name is Swapnil. I've worked with over 350 schools so far, and I've been doing Facebook ads for close to 8 years now. Well, actually longer, probably close to 10 years. But with the martial arts industry, it's about 7 to 8 years. So what I wanted to share with you is firstly, common mistakes. Then I'm going to go over what you can be doing to bring consistent leads into your school. And then finally, we're going to be talking about the difference between boosting and running targeted ads. So firstly, let's talk about common mistakes. So this is something that I see a lot that happens in the industry. I see this all the time when people don't get results, and when they come to me, or even like when I'm seeing when I'm doing research and stuff and look at what other people are doing. These are common mistakes that I'm seeing. Firstly, is there's no defining clear objective. So whenever people run ads and stuff, what I find is that they don't really know exactly what they're doing. So what I mean by this is that they would run like a traffic ad, boost ad, all these different things, but they'd be wasting so much money because they'd be just testing here and there and stuff. And this is probably one of the main reasons why people come to me is not maybe more for the fact that because I've done so much testing over the past 8 years, which I've probably done one of the most in the industry for what I'm doing currently, like in Facebook ads and stuff, is this bit is knowing what clear objectives to use. So what do you actually use? So obviously, if you're running ads for yourself right now, then which very likely you're running the lead form ad because it's the easiest one. Firstly, all your competitors are doing that one as well. So, it actually makes sense to understand what the ads platform does, because there are other objectives that you can use which actually get you better results sometimes, well, most of the times actually. So what I wanted to say is that be sure what objective you're using, because Facebook's algorithm changed in about 2023 again. So one of the things that their algorithm is so much more clever, especially with the AI and the way things are going, is that being clear on objective and knowing exactly what you want the ad to do makes a big difference. It actually gets you low cost per lead and things along it. So firstly, be clear on what you're exactly trying to do. If you're trying to boost, if you're trying to just get content out there, use the video views and use the other things. If you're trying to get leads, obviously lead form. But the trick to it all is combining them all together in a holistic way. This is what we do in with the tap system and stuff. It's not just one lead format. This is where I see a lot of people make a lot of mistakes. Is that they're just running one ad and that's it, and they're expecting the same results that they used to get before the pandemic, which was very easy in this industry. Back then you could run boosted ads and things like that and you'd get tons of leads. But nowadays is because competition is much higher. There's lots of AI and everything out there that you need to be very clear what you want Facebook to do. Secondly, on this topic is targeting too broadly. So what I mean by this is a lot of ads that I see, generally what people try doing is that they're trying to attract everyone with one ad. So you need to be very specific in the sense that if you're trying to go after for a ladies only campaign, for example, then your ad needs to speak the right kind of things. Now, one thing I do want to make clear is that there is no special button or something in the back end of Facebook that will magically completely change and you get like tons and tons of leads and stuff. You need to understand copy. You need to understand like what the objective is, and there's some few other points that I'll cover which will help you more. But what I want to say is that try not targeting too broadly, and I don't mean this specifically in like the radius stuff and the things like that. That is just for local businesses. That's quite easy. You just leave it. You don't really do too much with it. You just put the radius and that's it. But what I mean by targeting too broadly, I mean is that if you're just trying to run a campaign and you're trying to get families, kids, and everything, all of them with one ad, it doesn't perform as you'll get some leads, don't get me wrong, but you'll get much better response if your ad is very specific on the specific pain point and specific thing that person, the ideal person you're trying to attract. So this is really important. So this is why we always get our clients to go deep into exactly who they're trying to target, and then that from there stems like what types of ads and content and everything like that. Now, obviously, this is the next bit, is ignoring the creative aspect. Have you noticed that when you're on Facebook or any kind of social media, what are we doing? We're like flicking through like 100 miles an hour. your creative is the most important part. Your ad could have like the best copy in the world. It could have an amazing offer as well, but if your image or your video and stuff doesn't get someone stop scrolling, then you're not going to get that much. So this is what I mean, is that this is one of the big key things that in the Facebook world especially, is that you need to be refreshing content, your creatives a lot. You need to be thinking out the box. You need to be thinking that how can I make this a scroll stopping image? That's the most important bit, because once that's the hardest bit, getting someone to actually stop scrolling, and then it gets their attention, and then your ad, obviously then your copy needs to be good to speak to their pain points. So there are certain steps that you need to be aware of. So take an example like a Facebook ad. This is how everyone reacts with Facebook ads. So basically you'll see a Facebook ad. The first thing that will get your attention is the image or the video. The next thing would be the headline underneath. That's naturally how everyone reads. And if the headline is good, the bit underneath the image and stuff, then they will go and read your ad copy. So this is how you want to be thinking about testing and stuff with your ads and stuff and things, is firstly your images, and they're the most important. If your ad is not working, fix that first. Most of the times we see that little change itself just fixes it all. So creative is really important. And then if you're doing videos, you want to be thinking, okay, the first 5 seconds, 15 seconds is the most important bit of a video. If that's not engaging enough, it's not really good, then people are not going to stick around. For example, with this video, if you got to this bit here, hopefully I've done an okay job at the start to gain your attention, and I've been talking about things that concern you. I've not really talked about myself that much at all, just a little tiny bit, but this is how you want to be thinking about your things. Because I mean, like, I've been doing this for so long. I've ran my own local businesses and stuff like this. And this is from my knowledge from doing all this stuff. And also with working with so many schools, the creative is hands down the most important part. And if you're not testing it, if you're not like changing them regularly and trying out new things, then your ads will not work that well. They'll probably start off really well and then they'll dip. And I hear this a lot from a lot of school owners who are running ads by themselves and stuff. This is one of the things they will say, is that, oh, the ad started really well and then it's gone. I'm not getting much, because there are a few different reasons. Firstly, is knowing how the algorithm works, because the algorithm, the way it works, it will actually go and try finding the best leads for you first. And Facebook knows this because he has so much data points on us. And then once them leads are, you've got the leads, for example, then Facebook, what it does is it will go and start looking for more audiences in your area. So this is why it's so important that you need to be having, like, one creative might be really attractive for a certain type of person, but then if a different type of image would probably attract a different type of person. This is why we've done so much testing already, that we already have a bank of images and everything. We've got tons now, that we know that what to rotate through and what to actually test and what works. So like, I'll give you a big one right now, which is what we've noticed is people looking happy and smiling kind of images work really well on Facebook, because Facebook wants to promote positivity and things like this. And, so depending on what type of class you're trying to attract, think this through and make sure that you have good creatives. Now, another big tip on creative is this, especially on Facebook, is you don't really need to have like really polished images, meaning that it doesn't need to be done like a professional photographer. We found that actual raw images, meaning that just real life stuff that is done straight from your phone, they seem to do the best, really. So that's one big tip on it. Now, second point, how targeted ads can bring you consistent intros without you spending a fortune. Now, one thing I know most school owners are scared of doing is spending money on ads. And one thing I would like to say to you, if that is you, is that don't be afraid of ads. Don't be afraid of ad spend. What you're trying to do is, it's the more you can spend, the better data you'll get, and the quicker data you'll get, and then you'll quickly see what works, and then you can start doubling down on what works. So one thing that I want to say is that you need to get really laser focused on your audience targeting. I kind of covered this earlier, but if you're the way with ads and stuff, your copy needs to be very, very much on point. Meaning that if you're trying to attract parents with 3 to 5 year olds, your copy needs to talk about what they really need, what they really want. I see so many like people who run ads, and well, I'm sure you do as well, because you see them on your newsfeed. You'll see a lot of them are quite generic. They don't really talk about the actual pain point. Like if you create an ad that is like the same for attracting like 5-year-olds and attracting 13-year-olds, they have different pains and points. Basically, a parent is going through a different thing for a little toddler compared to someone that has a teenager. So for you to attract that person, you need to get laser focused. And the way you do it is actually not any like, I mean, you can later on put like, what do you call them? Detailed targeting and stuff. So if you ever run ads on your by yourself, I'd highly recommend doing it from the ads manager because you'll have more control. But in there, you'll see different options and things. I would say first is just do it like broad, and then afterwards start testing all these different interests and things. So that you need to think it through. What is that audience interested in? What kind of books do they read? What kind of magazines do they read? What podcasts do they listen? Who do they follow? These things will unlock like audiences that none of your competitors are going for. So this is really, really important. The first step is knowing who you're trying to go for. Second one, retargeting warm audiences. So what does this mean? Warm audiences are basically people that have seen you. They've actually seen your ad, or they've kind of seen your brand a little bit and seen your name. They're the people that you want to go after quite a lot, because it's much easier to get hold of them, like get their attention, than someone brand new. So retargeting is really, really powerful. I run a lot of retargeting ads for myself, and also we do this for clients and things. And retargeting is a way for people to keep seeing you, and then they will naturally get into like the buying stage, meaning that someone needs to see you a lot of times. On social media, it's about 100 times. Just putting that into perspective, they need to see you loads of times for them to even acknowledge you. So, this is why I always say to people is that if you're running just one lead form ad and that's it, then especially in this climate these days, how it is right now, where people call it like the trust recession, people don't trust anything online. Just seeing one ad just will not do it. It just won't do it these days. People will see it, but they will probably not fill the form in or anything. It's because they just don't know you. So retargeting is a great way for you to be in front of people, educating them, showing them why you're the best and things like this. So highly, highly recommend you do this. It's easy to set these up as well. It's not that these take a long time, but retargeting is like anyone that visits your website, they start seeing some of your ads. Anyone that watches any of your videos, they start seeing your ads. So this is how you start taking someone from unaware, meaning they don't know who you are, to start taking them down the line of going, oh, okay, I kind of know who this swap guy is. Okay, oh, I see like he's worked with this person. Oh, actually, let me check out his testimonials. Yeah, it's not instant. Like back in the day, a few years back, people would just go through quite quickly. But nowadays, it's not the case. But why is that? It's because there's so much competition. There's AIs making everything look real, but it's not real. So people's trust is really, really low. So retargeting helps massively. So I highly, highly recommend that you look into this and implement it, because it does make a big difference. And big thing, which you'll like to hear, retargeting is super cheap. It doesn't cost you much because you've created this small audience of your own. Sending ads to that is very cheap. So highly recommend doing it. It should be part of your thing anyway. Next one, keeping your ad copy simple and compelling. So I touched upon this, the importance of having your ad copy speak to their pain points, which is the compelling bit, but keeping it simple as well. So, your ad copy, when someone is going through the phone, well, me doing that means the phone flicking bit. So when someone is going through the phone, people, the attention span is so low for people that you need to remember that they're not going to spend ages reading an ad unless you're really good on copy and you know how to take people through like good direct response copy and stuff. But if you're not, you need to make sure that your ad copy is really easy to read. It tells them exactly what they want to hear, and you give them great offer. So keep your ad copy simple. A great hack is that if your ad copy can be read by a 5 to 6 year old, then you're doing well. That's exactly what I tell all my clients, is this is exactly how you should be writing copy. Now, let's talk real talk. Why relying on boosting posts is costing you money without results. Now, if you're just doing boosted post in the sense of you don't really know much about ads and you're just pressing that button, then this section is going to help you a lot. So what are the pitfalls? The pitfalls for doing this kind of stuff is basically boosted posts. They do work, but they're not meant for a lead generation thing like they used to be quite a while back. So boosting posts is more to reach general audience, your local area. It's not specifically targeting, like you're not going laser targeted. So it reduces the effectiveness. Now, do I recommend you still do boosted posts? Yes, we do. We run. I boost my posts all the time, and this is probably different to maybe what you hear everyone else say, but this is from lots of testing and from getting. I mean, my own business is just about to cross 1 million, so I've done this stuff for myself. It's not like I'm just read some course thing and just telling you it. It's I have actual data to prove this, and we have it all with our clients as well. So boosting is a part of our thing. Now, we do this in a different kind of way, like the strategic style to it, our stuff, and then also what you boost. But what I would recommend is that if you're trying to figure out what do I do and stuff, then this is one of the things, is think boosting as more like it's just going to general, and then these specific ads are going very targeted. So that's the biggest thing, and you should ideally be using both. Now, what is the difference between boosting and running strategic things? I kind of covered this already, but the campaign, when you do it in the ads manager, it gives you much more control. You can be specific on the age. Well, you can in that boost, but you can be specific in optimizing it more, meaning that's like a marketing term, but basically you can go target detailed interests. There's so much more in the back end of Facebook where like the retargeting that I talked about. You can create specific groups of people that you can send ads to. With the boost, you can't. Boost is great because in the sense where you're trying to just get something out very quickly. But if you're trying to be very strategic and you're going to be, okay, I want to track this properly. I want to make sure that it's going to the right kind of person and everything, not just like a blanket kind of ad, then go and do it in the back end in the ads manager. And this is what we do all the time with clients, is literally making sure that this kind of stuff is tailored as well, because I've ran ads all over the UK, and we've done hundreds of schools, like lots of schools. There are certain things that I've noticed, and I'll tell you this right now because you've got to the end of this video and I'm going to give you some massive nuggets here. So firstly, I've seen is that each area reacts very differently. Like there'll be one ad that we do, say in Birmingham, and then we run the same ad in London. It doesn't work. Now, why I'm sharing with you is this is why Facebook ads is all about testing and knowing your area and knowing who you're going after. This is why we go deep in the first bit of knowing your customer, because once you know who's in your local area, like even competitors and stuff, then you will be able to like make ads very specific. Now, ads is a great place. It will get you growth and stuff. I am very, very big on organic content as well, especially these days. You need both these days. You can't just be relying on one advert. Spoke to a person the other day, and they basically are just running a lead form ad, and that's it. And what's happened is that their competitors have gone and copied their ad. Now, this happens a lot in the industry. You might be guilty of it. I don't know, but I've had many school owners admit to me that they've copied other people's ad. Now, if you're just relying on just one advert and your competitors just copy it, what is there left for you to do? It is content. That's what makes you different. Like for me, I'm doing these videos, sharing my knowledge, sharing my experience with you. And I'm hopefully you can see from like my confidence and everything that I actually know what I'm talking about. I've done it for so long. I mean, even when you go and research me, you'll see there's lots of results, lots of testimonials. I've been doing this a long time. So what I'm trying to say is that, can a parent see the same for you? if you're just relying on an ad and someone to just come through and they convert, these days it doesn't happen like that. You know, they need to see. They will go and start researching. They'll Google you. They'll go and see what your Instagram's like. They'll go and see if you have TikTok, Facebook. Then they'll just disappear for a while, and then they'll come back and research you again because they see you're at. It's basically the way people buy these days. It's not as simple as what it used to be before. People just come in and straight away buy. So this is why I'm trying to say boosting is a great strategy for getting your it's like brand awareness style. And then ads, lead form ads, and all this stuff. This is why I say a combination of both are very powerful. But then you need to also be good on content marketing. You need to know like what types of content to do to attract a parent. So if you're going specifically for after teenagers and stuff, then a content would be talking about like what are they struggling with? What are they after? I mean, most teenagers are not really thinking about martial arts in the sense of going down the belt route and doing that kind of stuff. They're in school already. They're probably getting bullied. So it's maybe more about self-defense. And that is the biggest key difference if you're after teenagers. So this is why I'm trying to explain to you as well, is that if you're there and thinking your Facebook ads are not working, then these are the steps that you need to go through. Firstly, figure out exactly who you're going after. Don't target too broadly. You know, you want to be making sure that you're laser focused in the sense of who you're going after. You need to have a good offer as well. And then you need to be retargeting. Retargeting is a big step in the TAP system. We talk about this all the time, and is literally being in front of people again and again. Now, for example, you're seeing this video. If this is the first time we're meeting, hello. But if you've seen me for a while, then you will know that I do this a lot. I retarget a lot, send emails, all this stuff, because I need you to understand that Facebook ads is not like a one-trick pony in the sense you run it and that's it and you'll get members. Yeah, nowadays you need to have a holistic view to it. It's like Facebook ad, okay, what are they going to do after they see the ad? They're going to check out your website. Is your website optimized? Is it good? If your website is not optimized, then go and check out my last video that I did. I talked about the website, what to do. Is really good, that video. So definitely check it out. But make sure you're understanding what the journey is, how people buy. Because once you get that, then it just unlocks everything. Then your Facebook ads will start working. Your Facebook ads is just an amplification of really your content and what you're doing. It's just getting more brand awareness. It's a lot quicker, but you should be utilizing both. So on that note, I'm going to finish this video, but I want you to biggest takeaway from this video is this: running ads is not as easy as it used to be, but it is and is not. AI's come in the mix. Facebook is making it easier to make the ads. So the bit that you need to get good on is copy and the creatives, getting people's attention. And then once you've got someone's attention, then you need to get really good on, okay, how do I convert this attention into a buyer? And that is a trick, and that's a skill set. It takes a bit of time to learn, but that is where content comes in, organic stuff comes in, your brand presence. You know, what do you look like when you Google your name, your school and stuff? All this stuff plays a factor, but it all kickstarts with that Facebook ad or Facebook post. So I'm hoping that gives you some great insights. Just make sure that if you're going down the route of ads, don't be afraid to test. You know, your Facebook ads is not an expense, it's an investment in your business. You're finding things out quickly. And then once you find these winning ones, then you just double down. And then that's where things scales. I've worked with many schools where we've added 200-300 members to their school quite quickly. And that's how we did it, is that at the start, you need to be prepared that it can take a bit of time. But once you figure out that formula, there's no stopping you because you'll just keep scaling. And I've done it many, many times. But anyway, hope you found this video helpful, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.